you, Dr. Kambiro. I'm Nyavla Zenarati Bazaf, and welcome everyone, and Happy New Year to you, everyone. And let me start the presentation. To conduct this training today, I propose I make my presentation, and at the end of the presentation, you will have some time to ask a question or comments regarding the presentation. Thank you. Thank you. The topic today is a carbon credit application. I'm Nyavla Zenarati. I'm a senior sustainability consultant, and I've already worked with different international companies. So today I want to present you this most important topic on today's world facing climate change. So let's start the presentation by a brief introduction. Carbon credits are increasingly important as they serve as a financial tool to encourage companies and countries to reduce their greenhouse gas emissions. With the global urgency to address climate change, carbon credits provide a market-based mechanism that allows entities to offset their emissions by investing in environmental projects that reduce or capture carbon. So, this presentation, in this presentation, I will give you and guide you through the essential stages of planning, developing, and validating a successful carbon credit, ensuring compliance with international standards, and maximizing impact in the fight against climate change. So, there are three main goals of this presentation. First, to let you understand precisely what is carbon credit. Mainly, to explain how carbon credit fit into the broader context of environmental sustainability and climate action. Then, to explore project development. If you want to develop a carbon credit project, I will give you the main steps involved in its development from idea to implementation. Finally, I will give you some skills for your future careers. If you want to work related to climate change or carbon credit, you will have different skills from this training to develop your careers in sustainability, environmental policy, or carbon management. So this is the main plan of this presentation. It is divided in three parts. First, the main definition of a carbon credit project. Then the steps we can use to develop the carbon credit. And finally, how you can develop your project. So what is a carbon credit project? If you see this screen, you can note that 1 carbon credit equal to 1 ton of CO2. So, carbon credit is an equivalence measure used in the fight against climate change. 1 carbon credit equal to 1 ton of CO2 equivalent. This definition answers to the international commitments such as the Kyoto Protocol and the 2050 Paris Agreement to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. This mechanism has become essential for offsetting residual emissions. Therefore, we can divide the carbon credit project into parts. First, overdose project, which is, for example, renewable energy or using energy efficiently. And the other one is a sequestration project, which means development of natural carbon sinks from, for example, from forests, oceans, or soils, or in industrial sinks, machines that capture CO2 and store it in rock. How carbon credit work? Carbon credit project help mitigating climate change by implementing certain practices and technologies which enable free manport, which is a reduction in carbon emissions. For example, when farmers reduce their use of nitrogen fertilizers, this also reduces nitrous oxide from cropland and pasture. Then, increase carbon storage. For example, agricultural soils can be a carbon source or a carbon sink, depending on farming practices. Finally, replacement of fossil fuels by biomass energy. Biomass intended for energy generations comes from crop residues or from dedicated crops like Miscanthus or sugarcane. It can be burned directly or turned into biofuels. You can see in this pictures how carbon credit work. From generating carbon credits, you can generate it, also income. What are the main use of carbon credits? Project sponsors can sell their carbon credits to companies, local authorities, or individuals who are voluntarily reducing their emissions and aiming for carbon neutrality. For companies, this strategy follows the completion of greenhouse gas emissions assessment and the implementation of a reduction plan. And the current corporate climate claims are changing. We can see in these pictures the main companies which claim carbon neutrality. For example, Google, Nestle, Unilever, Delta. And from these companies, some are still using credits today, but making different claims. Some are more focusing on investing in credits of tomorrow, and the other one switches focus away from credits. So they don't use credits, but they use another principles to claim carbon neutrality. And for example, for 2024, these are the main sectors that claim carbon credits, which is the sectors of fuel cells, which is about 28% of reduced volume. If we see the price of carbon credits by the end of 2024, the most higher prices from nature restoration, about 18 USD per ton. We can go after that to heredity project, 7.7 USD per ton. Then clean cooking, which is 6.9 USD per ton. And the last one is renewable energy, which is about 5.9 USD per ton. So from this graph, we can see that the nature restoration project has a higher cost compared to both heredity and clean project. The source of this graph is from MSCI Carbon Market. Heredity project refers to biodiversity preservation, protection of ecosystem services, and the enhancement of local community livelihoods and rights. And carbon credit prices by project type, nature restoration and afforestation, reforestation and restoration activities have higher price. This is we can see this from these pictures. Now let's see what can you develop for your project if you want to develop we can note, for example, afforestation, reforestation activities, biochar, heredity project, sustainable agriculture, and peatland restoration. The other one is based on technology, for example, enhanced mineralization and direct air capture. These two projects has different put because first one based on nature is less expensive, immediately operable, but it is less permanent. The other one based on technology is more expensive and need significant research and development, but it is more permanent. So it's up to you to choose what is the best project that fits to your project. And while there are various options available, the most recommended approach is that one that is nature-based. Let's see one by one each different project so that we can understand them very well. First, afforestation and reforestation. It is a nature-based project. And the target is to plant a permanent forest or to restore the land degraded by prior use in agriculture or cattle ranching. This project helps to sequester CO2 while bringing back a suitable habitat for animals and plants to survive and enhance biodiversity. The carbon financing would enable the employment and the hiring of local farmers. This project can be located all over the world. The certification can be certified to all carbon credit standards when the eligibility criteria are proven, and the ton of carbon sequestered depends on the area, the type of trees, and the soil. We can see here the main sustainable development costs generated from this project. Then we can have a sustainable grassland management. It is also a nature-based project, and it's aimed to reduce or remove greenhouse gas emissions via the adoption of established SGN practices on grasslands. And the project activities include a broad range of SGM activities, such as improving the rotation of grazing animals, limiting the grazing of animals, and the restoration of severely degraded lands by replanting with perennial grasses and ensuring appropriate management of the long term. This project can be located all over the world, can be certified by all carbon credit standards, and depends on the area and the activity done on site. Then we have a heredity project, which goal is to achieve emission reduction from forest conservation and sustainable management degrading forest to harness the forest carbon stocks. The main causes of deforestation are generally socio-economic and settlements, but decreasing deforestation will be achieved through a series of activities that are destined to improve significantly the livelihoods of locals, such as improved agriculture. This project can also be located all over the world, and the carbon sequestrated depends on the area and the activity done on site. Then we also have regenerative agriculture. This project intends to generate additional income for smallholder farmers by adopting improved agricultural practices. We can have, for example, zero-till farming, cover cropping, crop diversification, farm residue incorporation, optimizing fertilizer application, and efficient water management. These activities provide the potential to not just prevent emissions into the atmosphere, but also create carbon sinks through the sequestration of carbon back into the soil. These pictures next show you that remote sensing with satellite data can be used for the management of a project, and also the main sustainability development goals from this project. This project can be located all over the world. Then improved forest management. It means project convert the locked forest to protected forest to the protected forest to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. And prior to the implementation of a project activity, the trees are logged annually according to a valid and verifiable government-approved timber management plan. This can be also located all over the world and can be certified by all carbon credits when eligibility criteria are proven. Then we have peatland management. It is also a nature-based project, and this is a terrestrial wetland ecosystem in which waterlogged conditions prevent plant material from fully decomposing. The production of organic matter exceeds its decomposition, which results in a net accumulation of peat. Due to the process of peat accumulation, peatlands are a carbon-rich ecosystem that store and sequester more carbon than any other type of terrestrial ecosystem. And due to ecosystem activities, some peatlands are churned. The carbon from organic matter contained in peat trace and oxidized gradually to CO2 and is permanently lost from the system. Now you have engineering-based project, which is a biochar project. Biochar is a solid and highly stable form of carbon that can last in soil for thousands of years, making it an ideal technology for scalable carbon removal. This charcoal product is produced from biomass and or bio-waste and submitted to pyrolysis, eating in the absence of oxygen. It has multiple commercial uses in potentially industrial volumes, for example, as a soil amendment from greenhouses, soil regeneration, and in water treatments. We have also animal waste management system. and it is a project that is built to replace the traditional open anaerobic langons. The implementation of this project will avoid the emission of methane, and the manure and waste saver from animal farm will be collected into anaerobic digesters. Then the biomass generated from anaerobic treatment process will be captured. The biogas will be used in biogas boilers for heat production. And the use of silage and wastewater in the feed. We can see here all the sustainable development goals that can be generated from this project. We have also AWMSF plus fertilizer reduction. The synthetic nitrogen fertilizer supply chain was responsible for estimated emissions for about 1.30 gigaton CO2 in 2018, which representing about 10.6% of agricultural emissions and 2.1% of global greenhouse gas emissions. And while from the cultivation process to our table, 80% of nitrogen is wasted and lost into the environment. So this project aims to develop an ecosystem to combine the cattle farm animals with a cultivation approach that applies much less synthesized fertilizer and as low amount of fertilizer as possible. And the methodology that can be used in this project is ACM 0010 and the version of ACM 0022 that is adapted and eligible to apply in China. For example, this project is located in China. These are the main development goals which are identified in this project. That can be identified. For example, it brings local employment, provide employment for women around the world, bring cheap and affordable clean energy to community needs, facilitate the climate action through climate financing, and bring biodiversity, new species, and life to the land. Let's see an example of a project that so that you can see how it is really implemented.
Hi, I'm Joe Anderson. I'm the director and founder of Carbon Tanzania, project developer in East Africa. We develop forest-based carbon credits with local communities. There are many ways to access the voluntary carbon market for a project developer like Carbon Tanzania, but working with Respira has given us a completely unique way of accessing that market. We've been able to establish long-term offtake agreements with Respira for the credits that we produce. And this has been an incredibly powerful tool for us because it provides predictable and reliable revenues for the work that we're doing in Tanzania. The key part of that revenue flow is really reflected in the participation of our partner communities, those communities who live in and around the forests and do the work to protect them. This work is what leads to the production of the carbon credits. The long-term stable revenues that Respira can provide also are reflected in the ability of the communities to participate in the future potential price increases in the voluntary carbon market, which is very important to ensure that the communities are treated equitably in the deal. These revenues themselves are incredibly important to the communities because it allows them to plan and budget for the needs that they have, both the needs of protecting the forest and paying for that work, but also for all the other benefits that they can provide to their community members, such as healthcare centres and education for the children. So this revenue model that we put in place is a very powerful way to ensure long-term forest conservation, which is essentially founded on trust-based relationships with local communities.
Okay. So from this example of a project, we can note that the project carbon credit project also provide after conserving the forest, it also provide benefits for local communities, and this can bring local high value and long-term benefits to the project. Now let's see how can you develop a carbon credit project if you want to develop one. These are the main steps. First, the feasibility study. This involves evaluating the area's potential and determining the types of carbon credit that can be developed. Then you develop one by writing or PDD, project document design, and calculate the carbon emission reduction following a proven methodology. The goal of this step is to ensure the credibility and quality of the project. Then, once all of these are done, you can start by the certification process. You work on the top certification programs and auditors to eliminate the suspicion of greenwashing. Then, the next step is financing and selling. The possibilities of looking for financing solutions to support the development of a project, and also selling the carbon credit through a direct client or marketplace. The last step is the monitoring, which means use to check and monitor the project and to ensure integrity, transparency, permanency, and traceability of all entries made. This is how you can monitor and calculate and report services for reforestation and alternative-based project example. First, you can gather satellite images, comparison with baselines, monitor the forest development, which means use satellite data combined with machine learning algorithm to calculate metrics, for example, tree height, tree wide, number of trees, tree health. Then KPIs assessment. This data also allow to calculate daily indicators such as diameter and tree health indicators. Finally, calculate and report, which means calculate the CO2 sequestered thanks to the implemented project to generate the report. And this report can be interesting for all the parties involved in the project. These are the main standards you can use for certifying your project. The most important are Verra standard, which is the leading international standard, and most of carbon offset from Asia with a high percentage of engineering-based project. Then we have a gold standard for the global goals, which is a standard. The standard enables initiatives to quantify, certify, and maximize their impact toward climate security and the sustainable development goals. Then you have climate action reverse, which is the most trusted, efficient, and experienced offset registry for global carbon markets. You also have Puro Earth, which is the world's leading crediting platform for engineered carbon removal. Theater project also CIR, CCCR, and Plan Vivo. There are different carbon credits, but these are only the most important. When you get your carbon credits and you are certified, there are different marketplaces where you can sell your carbon credits. You have, for example, voluntary carbon market. Once certified, you can directly access to this marketplace to the specific standard. For example, VCS code standard or climate action reverse. Compliance market, regulated markets where companies are required to purchase carbon credits to comply with emissions reduction mandates. You have European Union emissions trading systems, for example, California Cap and Trade program. Finally, you have also a brokerage platform which connect buyers and sellers of carbon credits, and this will include brokerage fees, for example, 5%. You cannot, for example, Air Carbon Exchange, Carbon Trade Exchange, or Evergreen Carbon. This is the end of my presentation. If you have any question, do not hesitate to ask. Thank you for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Nifio, for your excellent presentation and for your emerging and interesting topic of lecture. I appreciate you for your time and for your commitment. And now it's the time to treat the questions. I see one hand. One hand, Jimmy. Jimmy, you can unmute your audio and bring your question, please. Hello, Jimmy. I think he's not.
Yes, I think he is on mute.
Hello. Hello, Jimmy.
I think you need to unmute him.
Yeah, I asked it. He is unmuted, but
yes.
Ask to unmute, yeah.
Yeah,
yes,
you hadn't done it yet.
Hello, Jimmy.
Okay, thank you. Yes, please. I can
welcome,
talk now.
welcome.
Thank you, sir. All right. Thank you, Nival. That was it was a brilliant presentation, but I would like to note that it was a little bit too fast. Because there are some people that are totally new to what you're talking of, like me. This is the first time I'm actually coming to hear about this. And so I'm still a little bit lost. I appreciated some of the things that have been said. I got some understanding, but truly I would like to know what the process. Okay, first of all, you defined what carbon credits were, but you were too fast. So I didn't get that. That's the first question. What really a carbon credit? And then I noticed that buying carbon credits, it's the first step for starting off a project on carbon credit, on the a carbon, what do we call it? Carbon, what do we call it? Sorry. Okay, starting a project on this field. That's what I noticed. So please, can you kindly tell us, because I have a series of questions, but I would like us to go one step at a time so we don't get lost. Can you kindly take once more the explanation of carbon credits, then why it is the first step in starting any project on the field.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your question, Jamie. Let me share you again the screen where we can see exactly the definition of carbon credits. It's on this section. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Yes. So as a definition, a carbon credit is an equivalence measure used in the fight against climate change. One carbon credit is equal to 1 ton of CO2. For example, when we have, for example, two types of project, which is avoidance project and the sequestration project. For example, when you protect the forest, there will be an equivalence of carbon credit from this forest. There is an amount of ton of CO2 sequestered, and this equivalence that will be bought from another developing countries, which is will be an equivalent of carbon credit. That's the
I get
main
that.
definition. Yes.
Okay, at this point, the sequestration, where is it done? Where is the sequestration practically done? On the forest?
Yes. Yes. The sequestration is done when, for example, when you plant trees on forest or when you protect the forest, there will be an equivalent of carbon that will be sequestered by the trees.
Get
If
that?
you understand the process of
Yes, I do. A little
photosynthesis
bit.
of trees,
Yes,
yes,
yes, of course I do. Of
y-
course I do understand that
yes,
perfectly well.
yes,
But the
yes,
process of measuring this carbon credit is what I don't get. The process of
yes,
I know that planting of trees definitely leads to reduction of carbon dioxide, but how then do we get to measure that into a carbon credit?
yes. Usually there is a methodology. A methodology issued by carbon standards. There is a carbon standard, a worldwide carbon standard, and there is a methodology we use to quantify this carbon credit. And we make calculation by, for example, measuring the diameter of the trees and the number of trees in the area. It's just an example, and from that we can quantify what is exactly the carbon sequestered from this forest.
Okay, beautiful explanation. But
Yes,
that means I may have to read
yes,
more on that
yes,
methodology, so I get to
uh,
know exactly.
yes,
Okay, all right.
yes.
Think I'm getting
This
better.
methodology, let me show you. Uh, there is all of these standard. And each standard have their own methodology to quantify the carbon credit. And for example, you can check online VCS standard, and there will be a methodology, for example, for forest conservation, and the quantification will be concluded from that. For the
Okay.
step of certification and the step of development, I want to let you know that the most important is the certification, this part. The certification by a standard, and this will ensure that your project is real and is verified. All these steps, it's just the preparation. The first step is the preparation for this certification. Next step is finding the financement, because sometimes developing a carbon credit project is very has a higher cost, and monitoring is when you will be certified, the project need to be monitored every year. It means that you need to check and quantify exactly what is the carbon credit generated from your project.